Hi, I wanted to give you an overview of Moodle and how to use this course. Some of you may have never used a management system like this before, and so I just wanted to make it as easy as possible. You can see for this purpose today, I'm logged in as Christy Sadler, and she's just a participant so that you can see the participant screen from your vantage point. So you can see here I've listed my email address and my phone number. Please feel free to call me anytime. Next, you'll see announcements, and I do want you to go into the announcements every day, every time you log in, because I will put some information in here along and along. If I notice that someone's really struggling, overall there are 5 people that are really struggling with something, then I will go into announcements and make an announcement that might clarify something for you. So please check that as you log in each time. Here's the slideshow from orientation. That is really just there for your information. If you have questions about something we talked about, it's there for you to go back and refresh your memory. The next thing I want to mention is this first block that says sign code of conduct. Some of you may not have completely signed your code of conduct in our orientation session, and if so, you will need to do that before you can move on. The way you know if you've done that is if these blocks are grayed out, then you know you still need to sign your code of conduct. So I'm going to show you really quickly. You're going to click on that block, that tile. Here it gives you a course information mini book. This mini book gives you basic information about using this program. So when you click on a mini book, it's set up very interestingly, just like a little book that you would pick up off your nightstand. And you're going to click through the pages like this, or you can go through and use the table of contents on the side and click down, whichever you're most comfortable with. If you click this button, it's going to take you right back out here. But I'm going to go back and show you how you can move through the system if you're just continuing to work. So if you have gone through the entire little mini book here, it also allows you to go to the next activity. So your next activity in this case is the code of conduct. It will take you right through the flow of the system. So you're going to click here, read the code of conduct, and then you're going to click down here. Yours will say take a quiz. You'll take a quick quiz. The quiz is just 3 questions asking you if you agree with the code of conduct, etc. Once you've done this and you have clicked accept and submit, then it will ungray the boxes or the tiles listed as block 1, block 2, block 3. So you can continue working as you go to the next activity here, which is that new teacher reflection survey. You're going to click here. It's a super quick 12-question survey, just getting information about your first year. You do not enter your email address for this. It is completely anonymous. It just will give me some information in working with different districts and ways that we can support our alternatively certified teachers. So when you click on a box to open something in Moodle or in the PDCP course, I have set it up to where it opens in a new tab. So you can always go in and just close that tab. It takes you directly back to the page you were in, and you can continue moving forward. So if you notice this, it says PDCP expectations. If I click this, it's going to take me into PDCP expectations. But what I want you to see is if I use this PDCP box up here, it takes me back to my main screen. What this did is it went directly from the survey into the next tile, which was the welcome tile. And here is that task that we just looked at, the PDCP expectations. Some of this is a review from what we talked about in our orientation. Some of it will be new. It's just here for you. Again, you can print off those suggested timelines. We did give those out in orientation, but they are there for your use if you need them. Please remember that they're there in case you lose your paper. You can always come back and verify what your expectations are here. So you can continue moving through this, go into your next activity. Now B1 here stands for block 1. So that tells you we've moved into the next tile, You can kind of see that here. We were in PDCP, now we're in the Block 1 task, and we're in the Block 1 Task 1, and the title of that is Implementation Sequence. So you will walk right through this, go to the next activity. The FEEPs are those Florida educator practices that the state of Florida says all educators should know. And so we talked briefly about this in orientation, but each of these FEEPs that are required by the state of Florida are covered within the PDCP program. They would be covered in an EPI program. They're covered if you get a regular degree in education. So any way you go about getting this certification, you're going to see these FEEPs addressed over and over. And someone pointed out these FEEPs are very closely connected to your evaluation systems within your district. So if you use, for instance, Marzano or Copeland, these are best practices in education. So for each of the tasks, it will tell you what FEEPs are assessed. If you keep going, it gives you the glossary with the terms in it. Again, keep going. Here's your mentor signature page. And right now, what I want you to do is go ahead and just have them sign either the first page of your work, or if you're doing it all virtually, you are welcome to have them sign a piece of paper saying that they've seen it. We will eventually convert this to a online signature to where your mentor can just sign in and say, hey, I saw this happen. And so they can sign it that way. You are going to edit the submission. This one's already been submitted. So I will show you on another one exactly how to do that. So let's continue working forward. Again, this one has already been submitted. If you don't hit submit twice, it is only uploaded as a draft, and I cannot see it to score it. So what I want you to do is make sure that when you're submitting, you are submitting these and hitting the submit button twice, and we'll look at what that looks like. So here's your introduction to FEEPs. You are going to walk down, kind of follow right through the path, keep moving forward. But I want you to see what this looks like from the outside. So let's go back to PDCP right up here. That's going to take you back to the main screen. Whatever was opened last is what's going to be opened when you come back to this page. So we actually have moved into the Block 1 task, and I want you to see what that looks like from this screen. Here is your Block 1 Task 1, Block 1 Task 1 FEEPs, Block 1 Task 1 Glossary, Block 1 Task 1 Mentor Teacher Signature. Now we're into the activity, Block 1 Task 1 Activity 1. So you can see that these were uploaded and they have received a grade. You can also see that by looking at the check mark here. So I hope that will help you as you move forward. You can see where you stopped and where you need to still go. Then it moves into Block 1 Task 2, Block 1 Task 2 FEEPs, Block 1 Task 2 Glossary, Block 1 Task 2 Mentor Signature, and then the next task or the next activity. So as we move down, I do want to show you some of the tasks have been broken down into multiple activities. So for instance, this is your developmental, professional development goals and strategies. You are going to break this down into 2 parts. The rubric will be assessed for each part. Both of those parts must be completed for this task to be considered complete. So as you walk down, you'll be able to use the system. If you ever want to go back outside of the system, this is the nice button here, this Site Home over on the side. I'll show you what that looks like. That just takes me back to this location. So it takes me back to that front page. I can click that and log right back in. So I wanted you to see what that looks like. You will see in Block 1 here are some of the, we talked in orientation about how important it is to do some of the assignments in one setting or in one class year. So like differentiated instruction, you're not going to sit down and do this whole thing at one time, but you're going to do part 1, which falls in Block 1. You can see here how this flows. What this is looking for It's looking for some information. Let's just click on it so you can see. This is looking for some questionnaires or surveys so that you kind of get to know your students. You want to break that apart and list the specific information that it's asking for here. So you're going to write this out and upload this in this document. Here's your rubric. Once you have uploaded, your scores will show up right here as well as feedback. So once you go out of this though, once you've uploaded, I wanted you to see that in block 2, it takes this task a little further. So when we look at block 2, task 1, that's differentiated instruction part 2, and this one is much more substantial. It's considered a long assignment and it has multiple parts. All of these parts must be complete for this task to be considered complete. You must make a 3 or higher in every single section in order to move forward and get credit for the course. So you can see here, we're going to take the same student and the same student needs that you talked about in differentiated instruction part 1, and you are going to work through this with a little deeper lens. So here we're looking at how we completed the chart, identifying specific needs. We are finding 2 specific students out of that group that you filled out that paperwork on. And then we're going to drill down a little bit looking at what are some objectives that they need to work toward. You will do each of these parts. Again, you can just continue moving through this. Here we're going to review those needs and learning objectives. You're going to choose someone that you're going to discuss your data with. It might be your school mentor, it could be an ESE or an ESOL teacher, but you're going to move forward with each of these pieces. Again, you'll upload each piece along and along, digging a little deeper with differentiated instruction. So I hope that makes it clear for you. Block 1 must be complete and scored before you can do block 2, and block 1 and 2 must be finished before you can do block 3. I wanted you to see here you have a place for testing certifications. So once you go into testing certifications, if you get your scores back on your general knowledge test, you're going to click here. You will do add a submission, and you can just click and drag something from your desktop or your files into this and then do save changes. It won't let me save because I didn't actually submit anything. But you can submit that and then go right back to PDCP. What I do want you to hear is, I know if you have a master's degree, you're not required to take your general knowledge test, any of these pieces. So if that's the case, please upload something showing your master's degree. So that could be a screenshot of your diploma, that could be a some of your scores or something from your college. For this purpose, it does not have to be something official from your college. You will need to provide that to your district, but this is for me to know that I don't need to get with you on completing this task. So for each of these subject area exam, your professional, you're going to upload each of these. Reading endorsement, that would be the certificate you get once you pass all of the sections that are required. You'll upload them all here. If you would like to attend our virtual sessions, you're going to click into the register for support sessions. This would be the virtual, the New Teacher Network, the ClinEd training if someone you know wants to become a mentor, or the PDCP Mentor Network sessions. That's for your mentor themselves. So really the 2 that you will deal with as a new teacher who's working through PDCP, the 2 you will be eligible for are these 2. So you can click here, see that calendar of support, choose your dates. Again, it opened in a new window, so all I need to do is click this and it will close. Then you will come in, click here, and it's going to open a Word doc or a Google Doc that you just click right here on the session that you want to attend. It will take you to the NEFEX site and you're going to say register here. So it will let you come in, you'll submit your registration.